Alright, what's up everybody? Today I'm talking about a topic that I've been asked to cover for a while. That is my opinion on who's the best from Earthling. And I'm gonna kinda kill two birds with one stone because I also wanted to make a video how to truly decide if you're better than someone, because I've had my opinion on this for a while, but I never just got around to making a video. Alright, so the first topic I want to cover is about first to fives and first to tens, and how those really don't decide if you're better than someone. See, the thing is, when you first to five someone, you only know if you're actually better than that person if like you just beat them up every single fight. I'm talking about like at a 2 bar, you still have 2 bars of health beating them, because a first to five that goes 5-4 or 5-3 and sometimes even 5-2, if they down to the wire every fight, that doesn't really mean you're better than that person. Or, sometimes think of this. Sometimes it depends on that person. Like, sometimes when you're fighting someone and you beat them up really badly, like if they're really good, most of the time it's not because you're just that much better. It's because they made their own mistakes. Like they really beat. Like I know if you play sports, you hear the term like we beat ourselves. Like a team say we made so many mistakes, they just capitalized off of them. So sometimes in fights it's hard to decide because that person made so many self mistakes. It's like, and then when it comes down to self mistakes, it also depends on how that person is feeling. This happens a lot. Like some days it'll just not be your day, because emotion does carry a lot into everything you do. And when someone's not feeling good or really like mad or angry and they're fighting, they're most likely not gonna do good, and that carries over. So you can really beat them up that day. That's why when sometimes like you'll beat somebody in the first to five, and y'all fight them like a week later, and they'll just be beating the shit out of you, and they'll be like, "What happened? Did they just get better?" I'm like, "No, it's their day to day, I guess, and they feeling much better." Another topic I wanted to cover was rock paper scissors, or in other words, how other people, like some people, have counters to other people's playstyles, if you know what I mean. For example, Cryptic, he's really good at using Phantom Fist. And Phantom Fist and After Image are two like the moves that I really struggle to get around. So when I fought him, I think it was when he first got on the PS4. I fought him a couple of times, and like I could not keep up with his Phantom Fist. And then when I watched him fight Deathblade, Deathblade had no problem. But then when I fight Deathblade, it's like I can still keep up, and it's no problem. So that's what I mean by countering someone's playstyle. Cryptic countered my playstyle because I like to do the dash square a lot, and that Phantom Fist helps counter that. Or if like, and Cryptic, I don't want to call him a waiter, but he's more, when he fights me, he plays more defensive. But he doesn't really wait, but he plays more defensive, and that's like a struggle for me to get around. And also, it comes down to who can do what against certain races. Now me, I'm pretty decent at fighting the Namekians, Malmajans, and Freezer race. Now I know Withered, or Cryptic, I know he said that he's not good at fighting Malmajans, and he doesn't like Namekians. And another thing is, I'm not good against square triangles, so Mel Saiyans and Earthlings. But Cryptic and Zay, both of them are really good at fighting square triangles, but when I watch them fight Namekians, it's like a different story. And then Deathblade also isn't that good at fighting the Namekians, but he can do really good against male Earthlings and male Saiyans. Alright, the last topic I want to cover is who the best female Earthling is, in my opinion. So, in my honest opinion, I don't think there is one. I just think it's tier levels and skill. When I say that, I mean, okay, for example, the best female Earthling, the best, like multiple female Earthlings that I know are myself, Cryptic, Zay, Deathblade, JDH, Kilo, Shocksight, and I'm gonna say Zion too. Now, we all main female Earthlings. Now, if anyone just like came in and tried to fight us on a female Earthling, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't win. Like, they wouldn't win a lot. I mean, if we just really like went all try hard and full out. So that's what I mean by tier levels. But in that tier, I don't really think when it comes down to truly deciding who's better, like out of all the factors I just listed, it's really hard to decide who's truly better than who. Now, what I mean by this is, like, for an example, when I first fought Cryptic, when I first fought him, he was beating me really bad. And the thing is, like, okay, I don't mean to sound like cocky or like one of those people that always say, "Oh, I'm not trying." But like when I first fought him, I really wasn't trying. I was really gauging to see. I could tell he wasn't trying either. I'm not gonna try to hold him like that, but yeah, like, I really wasn't trying. I was gauging to see how he fights and what kind of fighter he is, if you know what I mean. And then when I was fighting him, I realized that one of his go-to moves is Phantom Fist and also Burst Rush. So like the losses I was taking against him was like almost for future fights, because I wanted to figure out a way to counter his Phantom Fist. So when I was fighting him, most of the fights, what I was doing was seeing when he used his Phantom Fist and how he uses his Phantom Fist. So when I fight him in the future, I can be like, alright, I know he's going to use Phantom Fist right here and I can counter this. So then when after we got done fighting, he had beat me like pretty bad. And I was like, fight me again in about like a week. And he said, alright. I was like, I'm going to study your playstyle a little more. He said he was going to do the same to me. Now when I fought him again, the fights where they were like, he beat me, I think it was in an endless. That's the next one I fought him. The two fights, he beat me twice. I think I won once. But these fights were like much closer. I'm talking about we were both in the red, blinking red. And it came down to simple mistakes. And then I fought him in another endless, and I think I beat him. I think I only fought him once, and I think I won that fight. So there's another factor too. It's just too many factors to go and decide who's truly better than someone. Now that's just my opinion. You can take it how you want it. Another thing I see is like when I first fought Deathblade, back on my channel, when I first fought him, like you can take this into account too. The first fight, I was doing this combo that had like a bunch of risks to it. Like I think I was using a Super Ghost Kamikaze ult with a fighting pose K, and like he hit me with 2 sudden storms, and that just like drained my health bar. But like when I started fighting him, I made like a really good comeback, even though I brought him down to low health. Even though I still lost, it's like, do you really count that win as like truly being better or outplaying someone? And the answer is no, you don't. The final example I'm gonna give about why I don't think first to fives are really logical in deciding who's better is I fought Death Cruiser on his Male Saiyan, and it was a good fight, but like I just hit him with a heat dome attack and took his health bar. And that win, you don't really count that as a win of me being, because I know Death Cruiser is better than me, but I beat him off that one time. And then again, if I fight him again, I could do some kind of annoying stuff like that or some lucky stuff like that and beat him. And then if I win that first to 5, it's like, even though I know for a fact he's better than me, I won those fights off of doing some kind of cheesy stuff, you know what I mean? So that's my last example I'm gonna give, and that's my opinion on deciding if you're really better than someone in this type of game. You're gonna have to work it out between you and that person and see if they'll just openly say it, and deciding who the best from Earthling is. So like my answer is there is none. There's just tier levels and skill. So I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out.